Good morning, primary class. This is Miss Daniela with your story for Monday in our lesson, Two Brothers Choose. Do you think that God had ever wanted Adam and Eve to feel what it would be like to choose to obey Satan? No, but now they knew that Satan tells lies and that he is cruel. They knew that everything would change, and it surely did. You remember that their beautiful clothes of soft light had disappeared. How embarrassed they were in their leaf coverings. The air was already becoming different. It had never been chilly before. What did God do for them? Genesis 3, verse 21 tells us, Unto Adam, also to his wife, did the Lord God make coats of skins, and he clothed them. How kind. As God talked with them, he sadly told them about the changes that were to be. We'll read about it in verse 14 through 19. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above the cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon the belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow, and thy conception in sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children in sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns and also thistles shall bring forth, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return to the ground, for out of it wast thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. Oh. When God spoke to the serpent, to whom was he really talking? Satan, that's right. The serpent would always remind them of Satan. It would no longer be a beautiful creature as it had been. It would lose its wings and crawl on the ground, and people would be afraid of it. You can be sure that Satan was listening to every word that God was saying. When God said the words in verse 15, Satan knew that they were important, and so did Adam and Eve. They knew that somehow God was going to do something that would help the people in our world. What would he do, they wondered? Tomorrow, we will learn about the wonderful plan that our wonderful God had made long before the first angels or people were created. How do you kill a snake? Do you cut off its head or its tail? In Genesis 3:15, God was promising that even though Satan would hurt Jesus, in the end, Satan would die. Isn't that a wonderful promise?